so I can explain this. I really want to get this across. This is super, super great. Great thing to learn. Oh, see ya, dude. See ya, sloth. Right. So it's hard to. It's just hard to imagine it so easily. It's hard to visualize. It's hard to visualize anything in Brawlhalla compared to other fighting games. There's just so much mess happening all the time. Where does baiting go to in those two things? Baiting is waiting for an opponent's move and reacting it. So baiting is a good way of. Well, it depends because you can bait aggressively as well. So there's waiting. You can wait for a move, and punish. Right? That would be someone who's parrying. So if we want to use that term, that is someone who is like, this Nai's going to come at me. She's going to react to me and dodge, right? So it's reactive. It's technically passive. What's happening here? Let me think. Screw it. Damn it. I should have thought about this. This would be too hard. This is too hard to translate. Let me just read through it. Maybe you'll be able to understand it. You'll probably be able to understand it anyway. What move which depends on the character. So you could say that Okiwaza beats Atewaza. So making a preemptive move beats someone who's trying to make a move that will hit a waiting opponent. Okay. This is it. Okay, let me show you. Okay, so let's say I have Axe. And I'm defensive, right? This Nai's got me in the corner. And she has, no, it's not Nai, screw Nai. Let's use guns, I guess. Guns. There we go. Right. Let's say I'm in the corner. I'm on defense here. Or like I'm in a defensive position. Vrax can Vrax has three. So if let's just say we have these three options, okay? So we can either make one preemptive. Let's use a more visible color. Preemptive attack. 2. It was 2 is attack that beats to beat attack to beat waiting, and 3 waiting and punishing. So I'm going to contextualize these in Brawlhalla for you using this situation. So let's say that let's see what a preemptive attack from, well, okay. No. If I'm the Vrax and I'm looking at Jala and I think this Jala is waiting here. So Jala has just gotten back on the stage, okay? We can role play it. Jala's just gotten back on stage and she's just waiting here. She doesn't know what to do yet. I read that she's waiting, so what am I going to do? I'm going to do a preemptive attack. What does that mean? Dash sidelight. Dash sidelight. Bam. That's an attack to beat waiting. Now, let's say hang on. 3 would just be to maintain position. So the tricky thing with, dash S-light, that's an attack to beat waiting. Now, what if the Jala does a preemptive attack? I get there, we reset, the Jala's like left, right. I'm like, okay, she's waiting, bam, I'm gonna snipe her. What if the Jala gets up and just sidelights me? Because I was setting up for number 2, an attack to beat waiting, I get hit by number 1. So I'm here, he gets back on stage, I'm like, okay, he's waiting, bam, this is my attack to beat waiting. Or I could do this, for example. I could run up, he's waiting, alright, I think he's gonna spot dodge, so I'm gonna dare. Oh, don't die. I can run up and dare. Because let's true, like, people don't always wait like this, do they? They wait like this. A lot of the time. They wait and float. But so long as I know he's waiting, like, if he's stalling, if I know he's gonna stall, the option I'm gonna go for is gonna be more like this, you know? I'm gonna go underneath him and I'm gonna nair. Or, it's half read, could throw on a platform fighter, or I could come up and I could dare. And that's gonna beat him stalling. But if, for example, I go for the dare, and the Jala gets up from here and just downlights. Just downlights. The fact that I tried to run up and punish a dodge, I tried to punish a defense or stall, means I got hit. And you just need to see it's a triangle. It's a triangle. 1 beats 2, beats 3, and 3 beats 1. Waiting and punishing beats preemptive attacks. So let's have a look at something else. Let's say the Jala gets back on stage and does a side light, right? Sorry, that's just, the Jala's going to get back on stage and instantly side light. As the Vrax, what beats that? What beats that is waiting. I just dash back. I wait. Or I jump. I jump. So what was Jala doing with that side light? Was it an attack to beat waiting? No, it was a preemptive attack. It was number 1. And because I chose number 3, I win. Bam. It's rock, paper, scissors. Thank you. Someone said it. It's RPS. Rock, paper, scissors is fundamental to fighting games. So we can draw it out. We can draw it out. You've got preemptive attack. And that's going to, then we've got waiting. Put that down here. And punish. And then we're going to put there's no good word, there's no good clear name. Say Brawler's a bit of luck in it. No, not really, maybe in 2s. There's no clear name for what we call like options that beat waiting and punishing, but we'd all do them. Like we all do spot dodge reads, that kind of thing. So let's say preemptive attack. Let's just say like I'll just attack to punish waiting. Screw it. Attack to punish waiting. So if someone goes in, if someone runs in thinking that you're going to wait, i.e. you're going to dodge or you're going to jump, and you are waiting, then you're going to get hit. Let's do arrows. Let's do this. Goes like this. Initiate. Kind of. There's not really a good word for it, but you guys can see. I want to know that you guys can see the difference, because the difference is when you'll see a pro player do it. I'll hop into a pro replay right now, and I'll point out to you what's happened each time in this RPS. I'm going to keep this triangle in mind. I'll print screen it. I'm going to watch, I'm just going to switch, and I'm going to go on Brawlhalla's YouTube channel. Give me a second. One moment. And we'll be able to point out almost immediately. These things are easier seen in practice for sure. Brawlhalla. Videos. Devstream. Alright, Lotus City 1v1 any. Wait, why can't I hear myself? Let's hopefully this loads. Oh, Kozilek's Lil Cap, we should be able to see one in this game, for sure. Lil Cap is a big spot dodger. Right? Okay, Sandstorm Cody, that's even better. Okay, straight away. Wait, it's not even pausing when I tell it to pause. Hello? Okay. I mean, you actually have it like straight away. Like Sandstorm was waiting for the weapon. Cody did an attack that, well, screw it, let's just watch some. What is, using Twitch for replays is horrible. Let's, give me a second guys, this is messy. This is why I want to do these things more prepped, you know. K to stop, thank you. Is attack to punish waiting like using a blaster's end light to catch a spot dodge? Yes, it is, exactly. You need to consider, are they going to wait? Are they going to delay one step? Are they going to dodge in some way? Are they going to jump? They double jump? Or are they going to do an attack. And if you think they're going to wait and they just do an attack, you're really in danger of getting hit. Let's see how this turns. That was a preemptive attack by Sandstorm, but Cody fails to punish it. So Cody was waiting, but he wasn't waiting with readiness to punish. Use YouTube stream. Ooh, do they have a YouTube stream? Let's see. Brawlhalla LTC. That might be way better. This is 1 year ago stream. There we go. Thank you. Thank you. Good suggestion. Good suggestion, my dude.
That. You know,
Kozilek's little caps. Okay.
like that. Usually you want to underperform a little bit. You know what I mean? Like, oh,
We'll find an example here, guys.
Let me go ahead and underperform so they can buff it.
Let's see.
Over here,
There, like straight up there. What happened here? What did Lil Cap just do?
yeah. I mean, what else is there to say, right? Like, that is just a tough time, my man. He tried everything he could.
It was a
right? Like,
attack to punish Kozilek's waiting. I just lost the moment. That is really frustrating. I just lost it. Not good at controlling these things yet. We'll find another one. They're going to happen all the time. It's just how it works. Lil Cap does preemptive attack, trying to catch him. Kozilek's waits, punishes it.
okay,
And that's game over. Let's go next game. Go next, go next.
Ask me about my spacing. That's
Come on. Come on. Ideally, guys, I would have like all the replays I need set up beforehand. But this is an off-the-cuff thing. Alright, here we go. Again. Picks up weapons. They're in neutral. Kozilek's attacks. Lil Cap does... Look at that. Yeah, Kozilek's... Let's look for some good examples. Here we go. Preemptive attack versus wait and punish. What could have Lil Cap done here? If Lil Cap had landed on the floor and done a neutral light, or if he had jumped again and done a falling down air, then he would have won the situation. So Lil Cap chose 1 and Kozilek's was on 3. So Kozilek's 1. Look at that defense. This is just a great moment from Kozilek's, by the way. This backdash, like, look, he tries to go into offense from nothing, gets punished hard for it. They're both waiting. They're both waiting. That was a preemptive move, and Lil Cap just failed to punish it. Wow, Kozilek's is good.
That's no dodge. Okay.
Okay.
Cancel neutral 6 to make it back to the stage. Kozilek's so comfortable.
Nair into dare like that.
He also could have air dodged up if he had the gravity cancel. But
Stop showing the replay. What's going on with the game?
Had me at all over there. Advanced techniques. Like,
I'm looking for really clear examples.
oh my goodness, he is smothered.
That was a great attack to punish waiting. So I want you to understand, Kozilek's here could go for a preemptive attack in that he could just attack straight away. And if Lil Cap was attacking, he would have hit him. But he knew Lil Cap would wait, would do something defensive. So instead he stops, he brings it dodge back, and then he catches him. So like, and here we can start seeing that waiting and not waiting is kind of just like an allegory for offense defense again. It loops back into the idea.
I feel bad.
Hey, Bill.
Yeah, I mean, I saw some people in the chat saying that apparently he has had Lil Cap's number for quite some time. So this just seems like another day in the life for Kozilek.
What's happening here? Neutral game, preemptive attack. He thought he was going to go for the weapon, and Kozilek does go for the weapon. And he gets the preemptive attack. Bam.
Yeah, you know, every sport has that player, right? Where it's just like the head-to-head matchup is just not in your favor, and Kozilek is that person for a lot of people.
Yeah. Here's a question. Which of the 3 tends to lead to better outcomes? Whichever the one your opponent doesn't do. It's rock, paper, scissors. You know, it's whichever the one that beats what your opponent chose. If your opponent... Okay, let's talk about types of players quickly. Let's talk about types of players. Because you have players who focus almost certainly like on one side of the spectrum and then the other again. Same with offense, defense, neutral. You have players who are always waiting and trying to punish. So how do you deal with them? You do attacks that beat waiting opponents. And I want to explain something quickly. An attack that beats a waiting opponent is not necessarily one in Brawlhalla. You can't guarantee. Yeah, it would be a good contrast. In Brawlhalla, you can't guarantee that you're going to hit your opponent, basically ever. There's too many variables. There's so many dodge directions. Hitboxes are janky. Movement is janky. It's not as simple as just attack, 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 hit, hit, hit. I chose correct and therefore I got a hit. It's a bit looser than that in Brawlhalla because you don't have this lockdown 2D gameplay. Like, I mean, it's 2D, but you don't have, you know, like slow jumps and stuff. But if, let me think. If there's a player that is always choosing option 3, which is to wait and punish, obviously option 2 is correct for me, which is attacks that punish a person who's waiting, which means I can catch him waiting quickly with an attack, like bam, just super quick, you were waiting but you aren't ready because no one's ready, it's unreactable. Or I can run in, or you're waiting and I'm going to dare and spot dodge. Sometimes they're going to be waiting in a different way than you expect. So let's say I think he's going to spot dodge and he jumps. I'm going to go in and let's say I just do, like, I do a side sig. I'm unlikely to get hit, but I'm not going to hit him, alright? He's gonna jump over me. So I didn't technically win the situation, but I want to point out that you actually still, like, so long as you're correct on the triangle, you're actually, it's hard to punish you. It's very hard to punish you. If your opponent is waiting and punishing and you do a waiting attack, that waiting attack is like 4 times harder to punish than if you had just done like a preemptive attack and then straight away just dodged it and killed you. Going for the wackier option, like the slightly delayed option, is harder to punish because your opponent isn't seeing what they expected. So you can do like small wins. This topic is something that I need to sit down and just like write about for a bit to get through it nicely. But I think most of you are grasping it. Like if someone's waiting and I want to do an option that beats waiting, if they're waiting in the air, sometimes that option... So like sometimes I can do... Yeah, it would make an awesome video, exactly, I think so. I can't lock him in the air. Trying to think. How can I pull this around? I've run out of brain juice, by the way, guys. We've been at this for ages. I've fully run out of brain juice. What I'm trying to say is that you're not always guaranteed a hit by choosing the correct thing, but you're almost always winning momentum. And you don't have to attack either. If your opponent is waiting with jumps, right? If your opponent is waiting with jumps, and let's say you have bow. Okay, we're in, let's say Yumiko's here, and I'm in this situation. I can take that off. I've used 2 jumps, I'm Jala, right? If I choose to wait as Jala, and the Yumiko chooses to wait, and I use up my jump, and I don't have a dodge, I'm in danger, because what happens is Yumiko gets a mix-up. Like I have to land, you get the bow down light, right? So there's it just doesn't fit perfectly into the game, but it does make sense in a, like, it still makes sense in almost every way. I'm not going to be able to explain it better. I'm going to give up. You guys have questions, I'll try and answer them. I'm not going to be able to show it better immediately because I'm underprepared for this. Good first one, predict, future, act, current, 3 react, past. No, so you're not, it doesn't quite work like that. Also, this comp is true, by the way. If you know that your opponent is waiting, you go for an option that's more safe against that movement. Exactly. Thank you, Hermeson. If you know your opponent is waiting, let me show you something. That's exactly what I was thinking. You completely nailed it. So if I know my opponent, this Yumiko, is probably going to spot dodge, or they might jump. I know they're going to wait. I don't have to go in there and super hard read them. I can go in and I can do jump back dare. In, jump back dare. I've put myself in that waiting position where I have a strong chance at hitting them, and then I'm going to fade away dare. And what that means is they have almost no chance at punishing me, but I have a chance at hitting them. I mean, you'll see this all the time. You'll see Axe players do this. Or they'll do like Akno vs Caruso during LTC on how Akno traps an aggressive player as an aggressive player himself. That's interesting. Yeah, I'm not gonna, because it's so late now and I'm like devilishly hungry. I'm not gonna go jump dare with guns. Jump dare with guns is a great example too, yeah. So you put yourself, instead of like, I want you to understand how significant the difference is here. There are 2 different things you're doing. If you're this Axe player and you want to attack, you do this side light, right? That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to attack. Or you do something fancy, you know, you do this, or you side sig. I want you to understand there is just a completely different mindset behind doing something like that, or doing something like this. And you'll tend to see Axe players default to a lot of these options because they're just less risky, they're safer. Even though they may, like, they're less effective in terms of value, safety is more important. Hi, Dove. I'm actually gonna say, guys, like, don't bother trying to put names from it. You can understand it as just RPS. Like, either they're waiting, they're attacking, either they're waiting and trying to punish, or they're attacking immediately. Like, they're just attacking, or they're attacking in a way that's going to punish waiting. Low risk, low reward. Well, my point is just that you gain advantage even if your dare misses, okay? In Brawlhalla, because of the way hitboxes work, okay? Just generally in Brawlhalla, this is a fundamental truth about Brawlhalla. There is a lot more space than hitboxes can cover. There is way more empty space. There is way more places you can put your hurtbox than you can cover with hitboxes. Just in general. When you have nine directions you can dodge in, including spot dodge, that is like going for attacks that are harder to punish but also accomplish the same goal is one of the best things you can do for yourself. If you're constantly pushing for high value moves, and this is like Azuri players again, you know, they're just like, okay, he's in front of me, what am I going to do? I'm going to run up and side sig. It's a super like gold plat player thing to do. Compared to like at high level, you just don't see that kind of thing because we know that you want to keep control of the game. You want to keep winning the neutral. You don't want to YOLO your offense with these high value options. You want to keep low risk, and then you can go low risk, high reward. That exists as well. Because you learn your offense, you learn to eke value out of a dare like this. You do dares like this, you learn to get value out of it by improving your offense from that position. And you also, because of the whiff, right? Because of this, like, even if you're right, but you miss, you can land. Like, I've seen, how many people have been hit by this? Probably not a lot of you because it's quite a new meta option, but look at this. Like, the dare misses, okay? Dare misses, GC side light. Look at that. That kind of stuff works because your opponent was correct in the way they were thinking, but the attacks just didn't happen to connect. And that's Brawlhalla. Sometimes your attacks just don't work. That's Brawlhalla. But if you can keep yourself in this way where you have continuous play, it's so much stronger than just side sigging all the time. Obviously, if the side sig's going to kill, you want the side sig. But this is your default. This is where you start. And then as your momentum, as your confidence grows, then you can move into the higher value options. Bam. You've seen this as well. Dare Ser. Anyway. I think we're going to have to leave it there. I'm going to leave you with those ideas. Neutral, offense, and defense, and how it flows between them. And then this rock, paper, scissors. RPS is the easy way of saying it. Like, it's you need to understand as well, understanding RPS gives you a lot of freedom because you can understand that if you got hit, you weren't just completely in the wrong place. You may have just been on the wrong side of that triangle. And if you were in the exact same situation and you chose the other option, you would have been winning. So it can give you some understanding of why you're getting hit. So if you're getting parried constantly, and you can spot players who are like, there's players like Spirit Wolf, for example, who would always attack preemptively. He's playing Katars and he just mash out attacks. Even when he missed attacks, he'd just still be attacking. You know, like, preemptive attack, just attack. And how do you deal with this? You have to wait and punish them, etc. And then you have people like me who actually make the mistake of only punishing waiting moves. I expect my opponents to be more passive than they are, and I go into them thinking they won't attack me, right? I go in, I'm like, oh, he's not going to attack, he's going to dodge, and he doesn't dodge. What he does is he just attacks, and I get hit, and I'm like, oh my god, I can't believe he just pressed a button there. Some of you people are like that as well, you know? Some of you would really be like that. And then you have the people who are only waiting and only reacting, and, you know, and they do this, and when you come near them, they backdash. You all know, have seen players like that. And you'll see that your ability to cycle around the triangle as necessary is a mark of a higher tier player. For sure. You can call it what you want if it works for you, but the truth is I think there is no easily understandable English translation. It's better for us to accept that our language doesn't have the perfect word for it than to use it and then have people draw wrong connotations from our words. So I don't remember the Japanese names off heart, but I remember the three structure of neutral. And I think it puts a barrier of accessibility in that people have to learn the words and like the ideas. But once you're familiar with it, it makes perfect sense. It's easy to remember. The three structure of neutral. I've heard someone say like poke, counter poke, weight. That works as well. So you have your poke, poke, counter poke, weight, which can work for some people. But you can refer back to the article. You can keep that all in mind. Yomi is something else. Yomi is actually like the word means like the underworld, which is great. It also means reading. It's an interesting character, but we'll get into that another time. Yomi is reads. It's kind of like a mystical term. But I would happily do one of these talks on reading, guys. On reading, because I have thoughts on that as well. Okay, give me a sec. Talking about neutral only. Yeah, I was talking about neutral only. So I talked about, egg. Okay, let's do a recap, quick recap. We covered offense, defense, neutral. We covered the order of priority. Neutral is theoretically the most important because if you never lose neutral, you just win every game. Offense the second because it adds value to your neutral. Defense the third because you're getting hit each time and it's just about surviving. You don't win that way. But I'll say if you want to learn, it's easiest way to learn your weapon is to start with offense because that tells you what you want to do with your weapon and how it gives you some clues as to what will be really strong if you can like engineer your neutral in a specific way. Then we moved on to talking about the three structure. So we moved on to talking about this. Okiwaza, atewaza, and sashikaishi. Which is how you can kind of split neutral into these three things. You can poke someone with a preemptive move. You can do a move that will hit someone who's waiting and reacting. Or you can wait and react and try and punish someone who's poking. Thank you for posting that. Right. Let me get this. Guys, it's been a pleasure. Thank you so much for all the follows. We will do this again. We will definitely do this again.